Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I would like to explain you all about teaching principles. This video I make is for completing the midterm test of TEFL. But before I explain it, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Fardatun Isnaeni from Iran, and this is my NIM 31801800015. And without any further ado, let's go to the main topic. So the topic is about the teaching principle. Brown suggested that there are 12 principles, but it all divided into 3 principles, where the first is cognitive principle, second, affective principle, and the third is linguistic principle. For cognitive principle, there are 5 principles: automaticity, meaningful learning, anticipation's reward, intrinsic motivation, and strategic investment. And second affective principle, there are 4: language, ego, self-confidence, risk-taking, and language-culture connection. And the third is linguistic principle. There are 3: the native language effect, interlanguage, and communicative competence. And the next is we're going to talk about cognitive principle. First is automaticity. It's some subconscious absorption of language through meaningful use. Or in another word, it is a rapid movement away from a focus on the forms to the focus of meaning. And this is resistance to the temptation on analyzing language form. And then the second is meaningful learning, creating materials that is meaningful for the students. As a teacher, we should create materials that is meaningful by appealing to students' interests, academic goals, and career goals. So it will attract the student or to to pay attention, to attract the attention of the students for learning. In this meaningful learning, avoid these things. First is too much grammar explanation, too many abstract principles and theories, too much drilling or memorization, activities with concrete purposes, and techniques that are so mechanics that students focus on the mechanics rather than on meaning. And the third is anticipation reward. By giving some reward, students excited and feel motivated to learn. Yeah, if we give a challenges to the students, and then whoever whoever done that whoever done that challenges, we will give the students a reward, and this is a way to develop their motivation to learn, or yeah, attract their attention. And then the fourth, intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation means a motivation from the student itself. We as a teacher maybe just give the extrinsic motivation, but it can stimulate the intrinsic motivation of the students. And then the fifth, strategic investment. Create or show material that would be good to invest time, energy, and effort, so the students will be more motivated. And these are the cognitive principles. The next principle is about effective principle. First is language ego. As human beings, we learn to use a second language. When we learn a new language, we also develop a new model of thinking, feeling, and acting a second identity. The new language ego, intertwined with the second language, can easily create within a learner a sense of fragility, a defensiveness, and a losing of inhibition. Sometimes students feel afraid to learn another language who are resentful. And then the second is self-confidence. Learners' beliefs is partially a factor in their eventual success in attaining tasks. So the confidence of the students is a fact on the success, how far successful of the lesson. And then the third, risk taking, willing to be gamblers in the game of language. And this is to attempt or to introduce and to interpret language that is a bit beyond their absolute certainty. So sometimes students feel worried they will do a wrong answer or a wrong way. So in this principle, it trained to don't afraid to to do something wrong, because we can learn something if we ever do a bold thing. And then the fourth is language culture connection. Learning learning a new language also learn a complex system of language. Yeah, if we learn a new language, we also learn a new culture, because every language has its own culture. And then the last of principles is linguistic principles. The first is native language effect. Exerts a strong influence on the acquisition of target language system, either facilitating or interfering. And then the second is interlanguage. In a language, there are rules, and those rules is the dynamic process. The second language learners tend to go through a systematic or quasi-systematic developmental process as they progress through full competence in the target language. And the last, communicative competence. Learning a language will be accurate, fluent, understand how to use grammar properly. Well, when we learn a language, we should know the structure of the language itself, like the grammar, pronunciation, and pronunciation, and the use of language itself. So that's all my explanation about teaching principles. I'm sorry if I have made many mistakes, and thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.